everyone, very glad to see you again. In the previous lesson, we have learned about the regulation of hypothalamus pituitary gonad axis in both male and female. Now you may be anxious to know how specifically male and female gonads make men and women totally different. So in the following sections, we will talk about male and female reproductive functions in detail. And today, we will mainly focus on male physiology. Learning objectives. First, list the functions of testosterone. Second, interpret the process of spermatogenesis. Third, describe principal characteristics of sperms. To begin this lesson, let's again look at a case. A couple came to the clinic complaining that the wife could not get pregnant since getting married 3 years ago. Besides, the man said that he was not very interested in having sex, though they still have regular sexual intercourse. Blood tests showed no abnormalities in the woman but lowered testosterone in the man. Now the question is, does low testosterone contribute to the inability to conceive? In addition to decreased sex drive, what other symptoms or signs could this man have? Follow me and you will find the answer. In the previous lesson, we have mentioned that both luteinizing hormone and follicle-stimulating hormone are secreted by the pituitary gland. Follicle-stimulating hormone stimulates the Sertoli cells to convert the spermatids to sperms, while luteinizing hormone stimulates Leydig cells to secrete testosterone. It is this primary male hormone that generates the characteristics that distinguishes a man from a woman. Now, let's see the function of testosterone in the male. During fetal development, when a baby boy is still in his mom's uterus, testosterone induces fetal differentiation of the internal male genital tract and causes descent of the testes into the scrotum before birth. Before puberty, GnRH and in turn FSH and LH are secreted in low, constant amounts. At puberty, secretion of these hormones intensifies. LH binds to Leydig cells and stimulates the production of testosterone, whereas FSH binds to Sertoli cells, inducing them to produce androgen-binding protein, or ABP for short, which allows more testosterone to cross the blood-testis barrier and enter the seminiferous tubules. Then, the increased testosterone begins to change a boy into a man, by who exhibits primary and secondary sexual characteristics. What are these characteristics? Primary sexual development refers to the changes necessary for production, like enlargement of the penis and testes. Secondary sexual characteristics are not required for reproduction, but to make a man look more masculine. For example, testosterone stimulates the growth of facial and body hair, so man has beard. It maintains the muscle mass and strength, so men are usually more muscular and stronger than women. The voice also deepens due to the changing larynx and vocal folds. Testosterone contributes to the big growth spurt in puberty, so men are generally taller than women. This male hormone may be associated with aggressive behavior. This can explain why we have more male prisoners. Testosterone also stimulates erythropoiesis. giving men a higher red blood cell count and hemoglobin than women. However, the most important role of testosterone in male reproduction is to initiate and maintain spermatogenesis. Before going further about spermatogenesis, let's first look at the sperm factory, the testis. It is where sperms are produced. The testis is mainly composed of seminiferous tubules and interstitium. The seminiferous tubules contain two types of cells. One is the male germ cells, spermatogenic cells, which can produce sperm. The other one is the Sertoli cells. These cells provide nutrients to the developing sperms, forms the blood-testis barrier that protects the germ cells from harmful influences. It also secretes two hormones, inhibin and activin. The interstitium consists mainly of Leydig cells, which secretes testosterone. Spermatogenesis begins during puberty at an average age of 13, lasts throughout lifetime but declines after 45. The entire process of spermatogenesis requires about 74 days. Sertoli cells secrete inhibin, which sends a negative feedback signal to the pituitary gland to reduce FSH production. Similarly, Leydig cells produce increasing levels of testosterone that sends a negative feedback signal to the pituitary to lower LH production. Working together, the production of sperm is up to 120 million per day. How do the sperms, that is to say, products of this factory, look like? Sperm are made up of three parts with distinct functions. At the top is the head, which contains genetic materials and an enzyme-filled sac called the acrosome. The acrosome is very important for the sperm to penetrate the oocyte. Then there is a middle part which is like a neck. It is full of mitochondria that provide the sperm with energy to move. At the bottom is the tail, which helps the sperm to swim. However, when they are inside the seminiferous tubules, the sperm haven't got the inability to swim. They come to develop the capacity of motility during their passage through the epididymis, and finally, most of the sperms are stored in the vas deferens. So you now know that the products of the factory need to meet certain standards. These include amount, morphology, and motility. During ejaculation, the average ejaculate contains 2 to 5 milliliters of semen. Produced 40 to 300 million sperms may be deposited in the vagina, 50 to 90% of which are morphologically normal. Fewer than 200 sperms will get close to the egg. Only one sperm fertilizes a single egg released at ovulation. Some factors will affect spermatogenesis. Risk factors include decreased testosterone, such as old age and obesity, damage to the seminiferous tubules, such as chronic inflammation, environmental factors such as temperature and toxic chemicals. Now let's get back to our case. The man has decreased sexual drive, which can be explained by a decreased level of testosterone. The inability of the couple to conceive can also be due to abnormal spermatogenesis, which is also a result of deficient testosterone. In addition, reduced muscle mass, smaller testicular size, and anemia were also found in the men. Okay, let's summarize our lecture today. Testosterone is the primary male hormone produced by Leydig cells in the testes. Testosterone exerts major effects on the body, including sexual differentiation during fetal period and development of primary sexual characteristics like an enlarged penis and testes, as well as secondary characteristics like a male pattern of hair growth, voice changes, and increased muscle mass. Spermatogenesis takes place in the testes under the control of FSH, LH, and testosterone. Important characteristics of sperms include amount, morphology, and motility. Here are the references of this section. See you again.